Are you ready for a complete G Suite installation tutorial from the very beginning, before I've even signed up, all the way through having everything set up and functional that I need for my business? If so, will you please watch this because I think you'll love it. I've used G Suite for years in my business, and now I've made a new website, and therefore I need a new G Suite setup with it. I thought today I'd go through and show you every single thing to do on this, because G Suite, I love how it gives me nice email addresses and it allows me to create users that have access to all the Google Apps tools. G Suite includes things like Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, video calls, and it's got all of these specific for my business. This allows me to keep everything isolated. Now, I'm setting this up for Euthena.com. Euthena.com is my next level business platform where you can do everything from free offers to teach courses online, put services, do membership programs, high-level coaching, all of it in one marketplace. All of it can be affiliate sold, and affiliates get 20% for life on everything sold, meaning you could get someone in with a free offer and you get 20% of everything they buy forever after that on the website. I teach online, I offer services online, I have free offers and courses, I have coaching, I have a membership program, and this is the marketplace I need. Therefore, I've built it, and I'm inviting you to join if you'd like to build your business with me. We'll show you setting up the Euthena.com G Suite. I'm using G Suite with Euthena because then every single account holder that is an instructor and an affiliate is able to have their own Euthena.com email, which is really cool. So if you've got a video course on Euthena, if you've got a free offer on Euthena, if you've got a coaching, a service, you can put all of your email in your Euthena.com email. That keeps it very easy to keep organized by customers. And the only requirement to get on Euthena is to be a Euthena partner. That makes it super simple for me. If you join and become a Euthena partner, then you get all the benefits. If you don't, you can buy, but you can't sell. So that makes it really straightforward. So what I'm doing is using G Suite to make it easy and scalable for me to have email for every single instructor, course creator, everyone with services all gets a Euthena.com email included with membership. And this allows all of us to have fully automated email marketing on Euthena as well. When you enroll in a course, it's sent from the instructor's Euthena.com email with a direct reply. Is super sweet. So I'll show you how to set all this up. I've explained to begin with why you might want to use Google Apps for business, which is called G Suite, and an example of an existing integration. To me, this is the first key thing you want to know is why use something. So you can connect it, store files, control users, you can collaborate with documents. The nice thing is only $5 per user per month. Now with Euthena.com, you will get your account without paying anything above the membership cost for it. And then the site itself is run as a nonprofit, meaning the website doesn't charge anything additional for instructors. It doesn't take a percentage. The site pays its expenses. The instructors, affiliates get all the rest of the money on it. I make my money from selling my own courses and services on Euthena, as well as the Euthena Partner Program. That's how I earn with it. And this keeps it simple for the entire setup. Now, I want everyone to be able to have a Euthena.com email, and I want to be able to control all of that in one interface. So what I do is I am at gsuite.google.com. Just super easy. Just put that URL in if you haven't already. The link's in the description of the YouTube video, gsuite.google.com. Now what you do next is click on Get Started. Now the one annoying thing with it is if you've already got Google accounts, this is another Google account. If you get a password manager, then you get a whole bunch of Google accounts. So you just sign up and put your name, first name, last name, email address in here, and then country, and you get 14-day free trial. And what's cool is you don't need to download any software. So I'm going to put my first name, my last name, and my email address in here. Then we'll move on to the next thing. After we put in our email address and our first and last name, the next thing we get is, does your business have a domain? You need a domain like example.com, or like I've just will say 1,000 times in this, euthena.com. Yes, I've already got my domain. It's already set up. So what I do is I click, yes, I have one I can use. I'm going to assume you've already got a domain before this. If you're wondering what kind of domain should I have, if you're asking, okay, Jerry, I'm just starting my business out online. Should I use a company or should I use my own? I recommend you use your own name. If you are going through this setup, use your own name for branding. For the majority of the time, I've had my business online and it's done well, and still I continue using jerrybanfield.com. That's my name, and in theory, it never changes. Even though technically it's nickname, whatever, we're just jerrybanfield.com. Whatever I do the rest of my life can go on jerrybanfield.com. When I first started out, I made all these company websites, and the problem is they were so niche and specific, I got bored with doing them. I made a bunch of company websites that did nothing more than fail. And then when you have something fail, you lose everything that good that you did about it. All that content you put on your company website now does nothing to rank your next website. I put everything now on jerrybanfield.com, like blog posts and things like that, because then I've got that indefinitely forever. Now, I've founded euthena.com out of seeing a huge need for this. However, I recommend not doing anything beyond having your own website to begin with, unless you've got a proven group of a lot of people you can collaborate with. Euthena.com, we've already got other instructors on it. We've got a lot of affiliates who are likely to sign up. I've already got something like 50 or more paying members who are available to join euthena.com, or who are already getting started building their businesses on there. Thus, that is a good condition to have a company. I do not recommend, most of the time when you're trying to just work online and be an entrepreneur, most of the time you don't want to use a company domain, because when you stop doing it, when you pivot, when you change what you're doing, you often lose everything. I learned that the hard way with 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 different company websites before I started doing jerrybanfield.com. jerrybanfield.com gets 2,000+ visits a day for free from Google organic traffic. That was the original thing I really wanted in starting my business, is all that free traffic. And the best way I see to get it is to always start with your domain as yourself.com, or whatever you need to modify it if someone else is already yourself.com, and then build into a company when you see a very clear need for it and you're going to stick with it. So that's my branding advice for today. So I click yes, I have one you can use. I will go over here to euthena.com, copy it directly, paste it on there. I'll put the HTTPS, and now what I will do is use this domain to set up the account. Email sent to Euthena won't be affected until you set up email. So if you've already got something else you're moving from, it won't affect it. Now I click on next on here. Now what I need to do is I'll make a username to sign into my account and create my business email address. So what I'll do is now the first account you make this on, keep this in mind. This is the account that you need to keep as the master. Thus, you want to make this first account your primary one, and you don't want to make it on something that might get deleted. And you don't want to make it, let's say you use some name you don't want to send your emails as, and then you make 5 other accounts like I did, and then consolidate them back into one, and you wish you'd picked a better name for the username because now you're sending all your email from there. For a username, the easiest thing to do is just pick your name at the website. You could either do your first name or your last name, or you could do me at yourwebsite.com, or you could do something like your first name and last initial or something like that, and then you can put it at euthena.com. Well, you wouldn't put it at, you know what I'm saying, put it at your domain. So pick a username you're going to want to keep indefinitely. Then for the password, it needs to be at least 8 characters. Make sure you take the password seriously, I recommend use some kind of password manager where you can make customized passwords for every single different service, then have a printout, a hard copy of those backed up somewhere in case the password manager goes down. Don't use the same password for everything, because if the weakest link, for example, if you're using the same password for everything and one of your accounts anywhere gets cracked, let's say you're using the same password for your email, your same password for Euthena.com and 8 other websites, and let's say your LinkedIn password gets cracked. There's an exploit and it gets sent out everywhere. What happens then when someone gets a hold of your password, tries your LinkedIn email address, gets into your email, sees what other accounts you have, uses the same password, and gets into everything else? You need different passwords for every single thing, especially if you're making a domain, something for me like Euthena.com. I don't have the same passwords on anything. All of my passwords are different. None of my passwords are guessable. You're not going to be able to just try and pick out a few things and guess my passwords. You've got to have a good security setup, because there's consistent password breaks that whole websites get cracked, or huge amounts of users. The passwords get taken out all at once and shared all over in the dark web. Then you've got people that get a hold of those and just try and test the accounts everywhere and get into them. So you make your password unique everywhere you go, including right here, and make sure you've got a good password on here, because if this account goes down, your entire whatever else you're doing on G Suite goes down with it. So make sure, have a good system with passwords, a password manager like LastPass, or I'm sure the other password managers are fine. You can use a password manager to help you out. Now, with your password manager, you really need to have something you can remember that's not guessable, that's really long and complicated, where it can't be cracked, because then you've consolidated everything into one spot, where someone cracks your password manager and all of a sudden all your passwords are out all at once. So make sure you consider these things when you're creating the password. Then it's easy to go forward once you've got your username and password. Once you've done the reCAPTCHA and you've got your password in, then you click agree and continue. It'll go through in the verifying over here. Once you've got your username and your password submitted, it'll take a minute to verify, I imagine, and then there we go. Now the next screen you're going to see an option to review your payment plan. You'll see an option to try G Suite free for 14 days. Then after that, you've got the flexible plan, no long-term commitment, $10 per user per month, pay each month, and add or remove users as needed. I swear this is twice as much as when I signed up for it, and maybe it is. So we've got this. You can also use a promotion code. I don't have one. I can't be bothered to go Google one. So this is what you start off with. You are just about done. You click next on this. Then you can review and check out. And on the review and check out, here's exactly what you will need to put in. So you've got your G Suite for Business. First free days are free, limited to 10 users. Then these are the things you'll need to put in. You got your name and address, name Jerry Banfield. You got your address, state. Then you have your primary contact. Then finally, you've got your credit and debit card down here. You put all the credit and debit card details in down here. Then we'll see what happens next once we get that done. So I'm going to enter in my credit and debit card details here, and I'll show you what the next screen looks like. Excellent. Our G Suite account has been created. We're ready to set up our business. And the next thing we need to do now is get my email mapped, because while Jerry@Euthena.com that is the address I've chosen for it, there's nothing receiving email at that address right now. So the next thing we need to do is continue to set this up. We need to get this working so that I actually am getting email at that address, because right now I just set up my domain and my email to an address that isn't actually working. So the first thing we're going to do is add people to your G Suite account, because that's what you really want to do. with your G Suite is to be able to have people on the account with you. So the main reason I wanted to make this is not that I need one more email address, especially that I'm not even likely to read. It's that I want an account for customer support. So Michelle Girard at Michelle Girard Online, Michelle at euthena.com. Michelle is my right-hand man in my business, and he is the one to put for customer support for euthena.com. So the main reason I set this up is because I needed an account for Michelle. So I got Michelle added now. So now we've got these two email addresses, Michelle Girard and Jerry Banfield. Now we've got both of these. I've added all users currently using euthena.com. So we've got these added. Now I go next over here. I can send him login details, but I haven't actually got any login details yet. So what I'll do, I need to enter an email address for Michelle, so I can just send that to Michelle at jerrybanfield.com. I can send the emails over here, so he's got the link to log in. This will allow him to set up the password himself. Now the next thing I do is I need to verify by adding a meta tag. So what I need to verify that I've got the domain and set up email. First, it says you'll verify that you own the domain. So what I can do is put the meta into my homepage, place the meta tag in this, or I can choose a different method. So I can add a domain host record. And what I'm actually going to do is add an MX record, because an MX record will allow me to direct my email there, and that's what I want to do. There's no reason, given the way Euthena's hosted, there's no reason for me to fool around with putting code on there, and I want to use email. So what I want to do is put an MX record there. It looks like my domain is hosted with Cloudflare, so what I need to do is open the Cloudflare website in a new tab and log in. So what I'll do is click on Cloudflare. I really like hosting my website on Cloudflare for the name servers, because Cloudflare has allowed me to do a custom setup with euthena.com where I've got a CNAME record on Euthena. The CNAME record on Euthena is actually pointing euthena.com to another domain instead of an IP address. So I really like that. So what I will do is log in to my Cloudflare account here and then follow the next steps. Now, I've successfully logged in on Cloudflare, and I've went to the DNS records. The DNS records allow me to put in a record where I can then point my email. So what I do, I'm under verify your domain and set up email. So I click, I've successfully logged in. I click, I've opened the control panel for my domain. What I want to do now is use an MX record to verify my domain. The MX record that I verified my domain will point to Google servers, and it will tell Google that I own the servers. So what I do, I just copy this whole record to put this in there, following the instructions. So what I do is I put priority 15 at host, and then I put so I'll show you how to do this. So what I need to do, I need to go over in here. I need to add an MX record. So what I'll do, we'll add an MX record over here on the value. We click MX record right here. Then I look, so that's how you do it on any other service that's very similar to this. You put MX record over here. Then you look under name. So this is exact name. So you just put you put the @ symbol. That means that's a root. And then we copy and paste this over here, and we put that in there. So that's you put the MX record in there, hit save, and then we can scroll over here. All right, there, let's see. We'll scroll over here. We hit add record in Cloudflare. Now we've got the MX record. It's a type, you can see it's a type MX record. Then we've got the mail record is handled right here. So now I've got the priority on there. I've got the MX record on here. And now what I can do, now what I will do is go over here and put in each of these at exactly what it says next. So I've got the MX record in here. And now I will add all these MX records in that will give me the ability to start. Well, I'll add all these records in. These each will give me the ability to start getting emails. So what we'll do, we add another MX record in here. We put @ on here. And let me check. I don't know if I added this one incorrectly. All right. So I did not add this one incorrectly. So I need to save that. The priority is 15 on that. So the correct priority on that is 15. And with Cloudflare, that's how you do it. So first you do priority 1 over here. You go in and paste that into the mail server, then make sure it's the same priority. So when you're doing an MX record to verify your domain, it's the lowest priority. Then you put priority 1, this exact value from Google. So you put that in and hit save. Then add record on Cloudflare. So now I can see this one is priority 15. This one is priority 1. Now what I do is copy the rest of these servers over here, put each of these in, add each of these in at the correct priority. Now this priority then is 5. So I hit save and add record. And now that one is, I've got an MX for 1 here. I've got an MX here for 5. And I go through here and do these just like this. So I add another record in here. This one is also priority 5. I hit save on that one. Put an @ symbol right there. Hit the record. So these all are getting configured the same way, and I'm just changing this. So we go back over through here, hit again, click to configure. Now these both go in at 10. So I put these in and save and add these at 10. Then I go down here and grab this one, put that in over here, put that in at 10, and I hit save, add record. Now what I've got my domain verification in here at 15. So this priority is 15 right here. Then I've got this priority 1 on that one. The first one is priority 1 on here as it says. Then this is priority 5. The alt 1, alt 2 is also priority 5. Then alt 3 and alt 4 are priority 10. I've now got all my MX records done exactly right on here as it said to do. So now what I do is I click, I did the MX records. It says what's next. Typically you'll start to receive emails sent to Euthena.com at G Suite in 24 to 72 hours. The time depends on your domain host settings. Until then, you'll continue to receive at your old provider. So then I saved the MX records, and what you'll do after you've saved the MX records, so I've all these MX records, all these mail records are now saved on here that I've added. So I've got all of these added, and now I hit verify domain and set up email. Once I hit this, here's what happens. It says domain verification and setup complete. I hit next. It says you're all set. You've successfully switched your email to G Suite. All emails sent to Euthena.com are now routed to G Suite. So we continue to admin console from here. Now I also need, it says, will help us provide more relevant information to your business. Now this more relevant information to your business may include phone calls offering you Google AdWords. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I've gotten I've gotten plenty of calls that I did not intend to receive about Google AdWords, which is Google's advertising product. So I don't see any way to get around this. Actually, if I can just strip the URL, go to admin.google.com. You have to put some kind of a business phone number in. It can be nice if you've got a situation like this where you don't want to actually receive calls at the number. I've actually got what I call a throwaway number, where that is the number I give out generically to any website, and then that screens all the calls and they don't even come to my cell phone. So I recommend you get get something like that. You can use this in a business phone and you can put the business name, click the number of employees. I just say me because technically I don't have any employees, but I guess I'll just put just me for simple. Everyone's a contractor I work with. Then I'll put my throwaway business phone number in here. Now, if you want to do two-factor setup for this account, two-factor setup can be good for authentication. You will want to put in whatever mobile number you want to use for that account, meaning if you do want to set up two-factor, I recommend do put your best phone number in there, then you can get a text there. So I guess I might want to consider two-factor on here, so I'll think about which phone number to put in and then I'll put that in. Once you've clicked and put your information in, then the next thing you get some offers in here. You get American Express offer, get up to 1 year free. We're just going to hit skip offers on there. Then we want to go into the actual admin console. So once we go into the admin console, this is where we've really got a lot we can do in here. You've got the admin console. You can set things up. What I like in the admin console, what you can do to add, you can add user aliases to email accounts, which is nice. So I've got Jerry on here, and then I've got Michelle. So what I can do for Michelle is I can do something. Michelle hasn't signed in yet. So what I can do on Michelle is I can add a different email. So let's just do this on mine because it's signed in right now. It says the user profile is incomplete. You can see the basic details of the profile here. Now, you got to add a profile and do two-step verification by individual user account, which is a very good idea for security. What's really nice you can do on this for emails, you can add aliases on here. So, for example, I can do something on an alias, like I can put the alias on here. I can put me at euthena.com if I want to, or I could put something like sales at euthena.com. What's really helpful with G Suite is you can put all info, you can put all these different aliases, and then you can get an idea of where they're coming from. So for example, for Michelle, I might put something for customer support. It might be something like support at euthena.com. I'll add that to Michelle's account. Then instead of it saying Michelle at euthena.com, it'll say support at euthena.com. And that way, when someone emails support at euthena.com, it will go to Michelle at euthena.com. It's just an alias. An alias is a little name you put. So you can make all these different emails, which can be helpful if you want to have, say, an info, a support, sales. One person can handle all that with an alias. You don't need to go through and make new users for every single account. You can just click on one particular account, click on user information, then under aliases, you can edit, put in as many aliases as you want to, support, sales, info. You can put all those in on one person's email, then one person can get all those different email addresses. On your Google Admin Console, you can do a ton of things in here. You can even, I think you can even host websites like this if you want to. You can do things like Google Analytics, all the Google apps you can use in here. You can put admins, update company profile. You can move data around. Pretty much the only thing I do with this is email, because I like the email directly in Gmail. I like the ability to add aliases to it. So that's about all I actually do with it, is what I've showed you. But there's a lot more you can do with it. There, I'll click on the apps. You can see there's 13 G Suite core ones. There's 49 additional services. You've got Calendar, Drive, Google Vault, Groups, Hangouts, Jamboard. I don't use hardly anything of these. Google Drive is a really helpful thing you can use to file share. And then if you need to, say you have a contractor, you can put them on a G Suite account, put all their data into Google Drive. Then if you stop working with them, you can delete their account, migrate all their data over to your account and not lose it. So that's a really nice thing you can do with G Suite. And there's lots of other additional Google services you can use if you'd like to just do G Suite. For example, with Blogger, FeedBurner, AdWords, you can put AdWords accounts in for certain users. You've got tons of different tools you can use over here on Google. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful, showing you how to set up G Suite. I just record tutorials. Now, if I need to do something anyway, I have such a smooth recording setup, I figure I might as well just record a tutorial for you, because it's easy for me to record a tutorial and get it out relative to what it is for a lot of other people. So here we go. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. If you'd like to build your business with me, I trust you'll join us on Euthena.com, where I've got lots of video courses that I teach you might enjoy. We've got free courses. I've got coaching, mentoring. We've got a partner program and a whole lot more. You can go to my website at jerrybanfield.com. If you'd like to read my blog, I've got tons of things on my blog you'll love, hundreds of podcast episodes. I've got my courses on Euthena here. I've got books, blog posts, I've got music, I've got audiobooks. I've got a list of all the software and services I use in my business. Thank you for watching this or reading it on my blog. I love you. You're awesome. I imagine I'll see you again soon. You've got this far in. I imagine you will love seeing the videos we keep creating for you each day. Will you please subscribe on YouTube and like on Facebook, because that'll give you two ways to see the same videos every single day. And you'll be like, oh my God, stop spamming my news feed. Oh, I'm sick of you. I'm unsubscribing and unliking. I mean, you're going to have a great time. You're going to love the videos we put out every single day. It's going to be a blast. We're going to do a journey together of a lifetime, starting or continuing today.